In this video we will talk about checkboxes. So I went ahead and created a class that is going to represent a frame. My frame is currently empty, it doesn't do anything. I just gave it a size and set the layout to absolute layout and set it to be visible and set the default close operation. Now what I want to do is open it with Window Builder. And I will add some checkboxes in here, and then I will try to detect whether that checkbox is checked or not checked. So let me add 2 or 3 boxes. So this checkbox, let's say it's going to say blue, and I'll change the variable name to be easier for me to refer to it in the code. So let me go ahead and add another checkbox, and for this checkbox I want it to say red. I'll change the variable name as well, so it's just going to say red. And let's have another checkbox, and let's say black. And let me go here and change this to black. Now I will add a button, and I will show you how you can make these perform some action without the button, but let's just add the button first, and then we'll see how we can do an alternative way. So check color, this is my button, and I want to have an action listener for this. Now you can go ahead and say your class is going to implement action listener and then implement the action performed method. Previously we did this with multiple buttons, and then in the action performed we checked the source. Now there is another way to do that, which is to implement an action performed method for every single button. And the easiest way to do this is to right click your button that you want to add an action listener for it, and then you say add event handler and choose action and then action performed. This is going to take you to the code where this is supposed to be written. So let me go here and let me say I want to see if the blue is checked. I want to say, for example, you chose blue. If red is checked, I want to say you chose red, and if black is checked, I want to say you chose black. So let me say if blue dot is selected. So this is going to tell me if it's selected or not. I will just go ahead and do a simple print. You selected blue. Let me do the same for the other buttons. So this is going to be for red, and I'll say you selected red. And this last one is going to be for black, and I'll say you selected black in this case. So let me save this and go ahead and run it. Now the reason I'm not seeing my buttons here is because I need to just add them to my frame, because by default it's going to add them to the content pane, but you can just say if dot for each one that adds those buttons. So if dot, and then for lastly for my button, let me see, it's added right here. So it's if dot add that button, save it and run it, and we should see the buttons pop up right now. Okay, so I saw everything popping up. Now if I click check color, nothing is gonna happen because I didn't check anything. Check the blue and then check color. You selected blue, red. Now you selected blue and you selected red. Let me take all of these out and check black. You selected black. Now if I check all of them, it's going to tell me whatever I selected. Now, depending on your application, you might want to have it like this, where you click a submit button and then it's going to see what did you select, and then instead of just going ahead and printing right here, you can call a method, you can perform some um, operations, calculations, anything instead of just printing. But you may need to perform whatever you want to perform whenever they select or deselect right away without having to click on this button. So you can just go ahead and right click any one of those checkboxes and choose add event handler. Under item, we'll check if the state of the item has changed. So let me go back to this and see. So I'll just do it for the blue, but it's going to be the same or exact same for the other checkboxes. Right here, I will say, okay, I want it to tell me when I check the box or when I uncheck the box. This is going to be controlled by the event, and the event is called E. So let me write an if statement that is going to say if the event, which is what is controlling or what is going to be called or happening whenever I select or deselect, dot get state change is equal to. Now, how do I know if it's selected or not? In this case, it is going to be E dot and then selected. But this is going to be, oh, I need a double equal. If this is equal to E dot selected, then let me just print a message, system.out.print, and let me say you just checked the blue checkbox. Now this is going to tell me whenever I check it. Now how do I know whenever it's unchecked? The answer is so simple. I'll just say if it's not equal to E.selected, I will say you changed your mind or something. Changed your mind. Now let me run this back again. Now as we implemented it only for the blue, these two are not going to have anything, but if I check blue, it's going to say you just check the blue checkbox. Now if I uncheck it, it's going to say you changed your mind. Now this is going to work with this as well. Now I just check the blue checkbox, and now if I click check color, it's going to tell me you selected blue. Even if I have red, it's going to tell me that I selected blue and red. So these two will not cancel each other, will not affect each other. You can have both working on the same time. And as we said, this, it doesn't have to necessarily be a print statement. You can do whatever you want in here. You can place whatever code, you can call whatever method, you can set booleans and then do something based on those booleans. You can do all sorts of things in those events.